they're not going to have this mirroring. And so by isolating and saying, this is why men are staying single, it's just basically another way of saying, I don't want to face myself.
I was with a woman for 10 years. Everything she asked my brothers to do, he is doing for this woman that he has only known for 7 months.
Feel very feminine or you just want to be the one that's chased.
And when wounded feminine energy shows up in men, it causes them to lack accountability.
Man is 40 and over and he's not married. He's a no man.
Welcome back to Motor Life. Before I get into this video, like, comment, subscribe. Also, smash that notification bell just to be sure you get on my videos as soon as I release them. Let's get into this.
I'm just going to talk about this comment that was left on one of my videos, and there's quite a few men that leave similar comments to this, and this proclamation that, this is why men are staying single. And this is obviously not all men, but there is a reason why men do this. And the reason that men say I'm staying single, which in other terms basically means I'm also willing to have a string of hookups that mean nothing to get my own needs satisfied, is that the reason that they do this is because they are not willing to face themselves. Any man that says, I'm staying single, is because they do not want to be in a situation that is causing them to face parts of themselves that have been denied, that have been repressed, where they are not taking accountability for the way that they show up in
She had a nerve to say not taking accountability. Now, a lot of men are staying single for the opposite reason, because you may not take accountability. Like, imagine you're 40. Are you single? Most likely, yes. Now, why are you single? Did you divorce your husband, or you chased your career for so many years? So what do you think is happening to men? Because not only you're chasing your career, you're still want the guy to be over 6'5", you want the guy to be like this, right? So you have all of these requirements, and many of modern women have these requirements. And say a guy is 5'8", 5'7", around my height, right? And he may feel he can't get a woman because of that, because he's limiting himself. Limited mentality. It happens. A lot happens to tons of guys. Or not even just the limited mentality. He limits himself because there's not good options out there in the dating market. So he does that, right? Then you say, because he doesn't want to take accountability, he doesn't want to deal with a whole bunch of women with kids when he hasn't had any children, right? He's been responsible, stacking his bread, doing everything right, crossing his T's and dotting his I's, and you are judging him for it. How dare you?
Show up in relationships, and obviously if they're not in relationship or opening themselves up to the right person, they're not going to have this mirroring. And so by isolating and saying, this is why men are staying single, it's just basically another way of saying, I don't want to face myself. Because unfortunately in Western society and sort of in the modern world,
see, what you're doing is you're blaming everything happening in Western society on a group of guys, right? Like me, I don't say all, I say most, because it's true. But you are saying all men over 40 are doing it because of this. If it's not that, then say it then.
Modern world, men are becoming apathetic. They're becoming more feminized. And when wounded feminine energy shows up in men, it causes them to lack accountability.
Shame. Shame is one of the 4 major arrows of a low value woman.
To not want to take responsibility, to be flighty, to not commit to things, which is automatically a massive turn off to women that are in a healed feminine energy.
There are some feminine low value women. Make no mistake.
And so the sorts of women that they would actually, thrive in relationship with, they're not attracting anyway, because they're not opening themselves up to the possibility that actually they're the ones that are responsible for the type of women that they're actually pulling in the first place.
The incessant need to be right.
And so it becomes this vicious cycle. But when men say, that they're...
So what about when it's on the opposite, right? Because it seems like you're so happy to talk about men, but That's why a lot of men are staying single, because the opposite is actually a fact, right? Because most are doing that. You're blaming everything that the 10% of men are doing on 90%. It's not right. Reverse. What I'm do every day is I talk about what 90% are doing. You get what I'm saying? You're doing the opposite. You're saying what 10% of men are doing. I'm talking about what most of you are doing.
Men say, that they're staying single as an act of, trying to control their circumstances. The reality is underneath that, they're feeling very much out of control. And because they don't have a language for communicating, what's going on underneath, because no man that is in a healed masculine energy is going to make this proclamation and decide that he's going to be single for the rest of his life. Because when you look at the way that obviously masculine energy thrives in life, it is to build, it's to continuously have something to move towards, to build some sort of legacy for self, and to feel as if they're creating a foundation, and building something. And so
yes, and he's not going to do that with somebody who doesn't qualify. None of the women qualify. That's why you have passport bros. That's why you have men going their own way. These movements are around for a reason. Most of you don't qualify. Now, some guys take it to the limit. Yes, some guys do take it above and beyond, but I kind of understand why. Look at you. You're talking like you know it all. And you're trying to put these guys in a box when it's not the case for everyone.
And so when you're saying, I'm cutting off my own growth, which is obviously what comes from being in a relationship anyway, they're automatically showcasing they're not actually in their masculine. Because to get to the end of your life and basically look back and say, I worked a job that was okay, that paid the bills, sat on my own money so I didn't have to pay anything, for women, and, got to the end of my life with a string of hookups. You look back at that as a legacy for a male, and the level of regret that would come with that is not going to feel good. So if a man makes this proclamation, then this is what he really means. And emotional fulfillment in life comes from the depth of intimacy we have with our partners, with the people that are closest to us. And when we cut ourselves off from that and the possibility of exploring that, we don't live an emotionally fulfilling life. We live a life that's filled with...
No, I gotta stop. I can't hear her talk anymore. Seriously, it drives me crazy.
Oh, you gotta watch this.
My brother just married a woman he's only known for 7 months. Congratulations to my brother, and I love him, right? But this is the twist. He was with a woman for 10 years. Everything she asked my brothers to do, he is doing for this woman that he has only known for 7 months. Bottom line, bro, I love you if you're watching this, but I had to share it. Stop begging these men to do.
All right, so you say stop begging these men, right? But how is it being done? Like, do you know this woman? Of course you know her, but did you understand how she talked to him? Maybe she belittled him. Like, you don't know. For him to marry someone else immediately shows maybe that girl was gentle. Maybe that girl handles accountability. Maybe that girl is responsible. Maybe she's on top of her game. She's feminine. What if that girl wasn't feminine at all? Right? Just because you... That doesn't do it for God. Like, imagine hearing that every day. It would drive you nuts. It's like children. That's how some of these modern women are. Like children, bickering and complaining to you.
And to do things you need to be done.
Wow. 7 months after a decade-long relationship. Can you believe that? It really makes you think, what drives people to commit? Is it the time they spend together or more?
Because he is not going to change for you. He will never be the man you need him to be, because you are not the woman that he wants to be with. People change for who they want to change for. Stop preaching and start waiting patiently for your husband.
That's a valid point. It's not about the quick marriage, but the fact that he did not want to marry the woman that he was with for 10 years. What do you think? Why would someone stay without taking that plunge?
Hey y'all, so my brother is a little upset that I posted the video, but
narcissistic attention seeker.
He did give me his why, so here it is. His why for marrying the woman that he's only been with for 7 months and never marrying his ex of 10 years was because she never left. He says that he unconsciously never became the best version of himself because the woman that he was in love with at the time was okay with who he was in his eyes. As far as he believed, she loved him no matter what, so there's no need for me to rush and change. I don't know what I need to really change. She's just fussing. He says that he never really understood that there was a change that needed to be had until he left her and he dated a few women and they weren't tolerating what he was putting his ex through. So with that, he met his now wife that he's only known for 7 months and he was ready. Don't attack me, y'all. I'm just sharing the message.
For my popularity.
It happens, and honestly, it is valid. A lot of the time, we accept a man not giving us what we really deserve. And for that reason, they lose respect for us and they end up being with another woman and giving that woman everything that we begged him for. So that's the whole purpose of that video that I just posted. Don't beg.
This is really eye-opening. He stayed out of convenience. He stayed because she wouldn't leave, not because he was truly committed. Then he meets someone that challenges him, then boom.
Well, a situation like that, it sounds like he was. I gotta say it. I hate saying it because we say it all the time. He sounded like a pookie and a half. He did. He finally realized he needs to change his life around. It happens. We all go through it, but not like that. Not quite like him. But still, you stayed with a pookie when you should have left him. That's true. The same thing, I just reacted to a video right before this about Chicago, right? Like the woman was sitting there smiling when she talking about Pookie and the things he was doing. Oh, I'll mess around and come over there and shoot your brother. And then at the end of the video, she's laughing and giggling. Same difference. Pitting up with it. That's your fault. Not his fault. I don't blame Pookie. I blame you. Why? Because maybe it could have been a crazy situation. He went to jail, everything. She stood there. She was the ride or die. Sometimes you can't be that ride or die.
Marriage. Boom. He's doing everything for her that he wouldn't do for the other woman. You think being challenged in a relationship is a key to knowing you found the one? Don't waste your time if they're not willing to commit. It's tough, but it's true. If someone really wants to be with you, they'll show it. Have any of you experienced this? Please share your thoughts and drop those comments. Let's get this conversation started. Don't forget to hit that like, share, subscribe.
Now, I'm going to stop right there. Now, when you flip it, right? Because I like to flip things. You think about what's going on with men. It's actually the opposite, right? Most men are going through the opposite. Dealing with women who are like that, Pookie. But you know what's happening? We're not waiting 10 years. We're not doing it. Why would we wait 10 years? Like, you know how much of a waste of time that is? I'm imagining my last situationship that I had before I met Kay. If I would have stayed there, I'd have been doing this. Twisting the wheels and doing the same thing and expecting a different result. Seriously. That's what I would have been doing. Staying there, her not appreciating me, her breaking up with me, going with another guy. It happened a couple of times. I'm thinking about this. So when she said, she had nerve to say, oh, I don't see the connection. I see us as friends.
I am leaving and I am never coming back.
What am I going to do? Am I going to wait around? No, I'm not the, what do you call it? The guy that holds the towels. I'm not the towel guy at the basketball game, but in this game. Wiping the floor, I'm not the floor man. No, I wipe up the sweat off the floor so you don't trip, so the basketball players don't trip. I'm not the mop guy. I'm not any of those guys. So, and that's what men are saying. We're done.
The reality is that social media has changed things. And it's changed things for men and women, because I've even had male friends, male family members who are both Muslim and non-Muslim say that they are more likely to get a response from a girl through a DM, let's say on Instagram, than a positive feeling from necessarily approaching women, which is interesting. I'm always interested to know how men feel about it, because I agree with you. Like, the concept of being approached in public is much nicer and feels so much more organic than apps or DMs. But I also have heard, and this is just my experience from guys that I've spoken to, say, we see the TikToks of girls being like, when I'm in the gym, I'm there to train, don't disturb me, don't approach me. And they're like, oh, maybe she really doesn't want to be approached. Or if I'm out shopping on the weekend and I say hi to someone, I don't want her to feel, uncomfortable, or that I'm being scary or threatening in any way. So it's a tricky line as far as what I've learned from men. The huge caveat is obviously if a guy is going to approach a girl in public, to do so politely. But I've literally seen it. Actually, at university, me and my friends were hanging out. We all went for Thai food after class. And one of our friends, he had a crush on the waitress who was in the restaurant. So we were all standing outside the restaurant after, like hesitant to leave or not, because he hadn't spoken to her. And me and my girlfriend, we literally said to him, you have to go in. Like, we are girls. We are telling you it is okay. We literally said to him, just tell her, like, hi, I think you're beautiful. Like, I'd love to get your number and catch up. So go for coffee or dinner sometime. And he did. And she literally said to him, she said, oh, I'm so sorry, I have a boyfriend, but like, you were so polite. So she even did give him that like kudos for being polite. But I've also seen with other best friends, them approach a girl and her be really horrible, even though I know they were so polite to her. So it's tricky, guys. I feel like there are issues on both sides. If girls want to be approached, I feel like we want to be approached respectfully. But we have to also acknowledge that men do fear rejection. I would fear rejection. I mean, the thought of going up to someone is intimidating. But I would do it, honestly. I'm just a confident person. But as a girl, sometimes you just don't want to have to do that. It doesn't feel very feminine or you just want to be the one that's chased. But Hold
up. When you said that, you were going somewhere now. I know you want to be chased, but you see the state of the date market nowadays. You said it. You said you saw it happen to a guy. You know, as well, they do it over the guys. They feel a drop dead gorgeous or giga chads. Oh, I have to talk to him. And then they do it. And then he plays them. It's wild. It should never end the cycle.
I give grace to guys for also not feeling like they want to approach people anymore. And I do think that social media has changed things. I think in some ways it connects us. In some ways it totally disconnects us. We are all on the tubes, on our phones. Actually, I met this incredible woman at a beauty event recently for work. And she was telling me about the story of how she met her husband. And she said, we both got onto the train and we were sat opposite each other. And she said, neither of us were on our phones. I think it was he was reading a book. And she just said something to him about the book that he was reading, and kind of like made it known to him that she would be okay to talk. And that was literally it. That was how they met. And then she said it was like an instant connection, and now they're married.
Guys are sick and tired of the nonsense of the games, and she saw it. But that's how it is.
Single. How old are you?
41.
Okay, you're 41.
But I'll be 42.
All right. You're 41 or 42 in a week. You're single. You have no kids. Why is that?
I don't know if you could say I'm selfish.
You're selfish?
I like being free.
You like being free?
I like being free. I like going out.
Okay.
I like dancing. I like flirting. I can be with one woman, but
I'd rather not.
the responsibility, who wants that? Really, honestly, who wants that?
I don't.
I want to be free. I don't want no responsibility.
Oh, damn. He fits that mold. I can't lie, bro. Why are you saying this? He's messing it up. But no, seriously, he's not messing it up. Some guys are like that. Maybe he gets what he wants and he's used to it. You can't change men. Y'all keep rewarding these men. It's your fault.
I don't have to worry about somebody for the rest of my life. Even when I'm 90, I got to worry about a 7-year-old kid. You know? Well, 40-year difference. So 50. It's just not for me, I don't think. You know, when I see my friends with their kids, like, I'm supposed to want it. But I look at it like, that sucks.
It sucks.
It sucks.
It sucks.
When they talk about that, they're talking about guys like him. And that's not most guys. You got to see it for what it is. He's in that category of guys that get what they want, and not every man is like that.
So if you meet someone...
Now, guys, I want to show this video because the last video I showed, in Chicago. I forgot to add it in Chicago. There are good situations as well. Not every situation is a woman not finding a man. You know, sometimes you still can find love in the West, but you already know what I say. So far, so few. But here's one of those so far, so few situations.
So when he came in, he saw me. He linked over to our lead, and he was like, "Who is that?" And I heard him. I looked, and I said, "Oh
Maybe,
my God, tell him I
maybe
got
I
a
wanted her to
boyfriend."
hear me.
Love is in the air.
Yes, yes, love is in the air.
And I'm like, "Oh my God."
Yeah, see? Situations like that, when they happen, you meet someone in the wild and they don't have all of those expectations. It's music to your ears. It is. It's music to your ears, but to find that, sometimes guys even feel like it's a never ending story, right? Because you go through one headache, go through another one headache. But I say to any man out there, gotta keep trying. Or if you don't want to try, passport up. I say that easy. Passport up. That's not the way for everybody. So try to find something where you are, but that's not working for you. Leave and go out, because there are many guys, so many guys that come out to the Philippines and find beautiful Filipinas who are gentle, loving, don't mind cooking. My wife right now is over there cooking. She's in front of me. You probably don't hear it in the background. Right in the background, that's water running. She's cooking food, preparing food for Sabbath. Yes, I haven't had to cook. Well, I've cooked, but still, only when I wanted to. I haven't had to cook because I needed to in a long time. Feels good.
I'm telling my future children this is how I met your mother way back in the day. In 4th grade, passing notes like the black church be passing the plate. Wait, that's inaccurate. It hurt, but I was blessed with a spectacular fate. For the way we reconnected, met at Jackson and State, and she happened to stay. We started chatting, and after we just so happened to date.
Woo!
I love it. I love it.
That was fire. And that's how he met his beautiful wife. This brother is from Chicago. She is as well. You still find it. Black love works in a lot of these cities. And, black women really choose black men. That's their favorite choice. And same thing for black men is a black woman. So, yes, it's still possible. When you find someone that's humble, I'm not going to lie, it is hard, but you can find it. You just have to be gentle. No matter what, whether you're a man or a woman, be gentle. Not too gentle, because they say it is soft. You know how that goes. But still, and keep your eyes open. Keep your senses fully aware. Stay funny. Stay humble. Stay humble. Stay low. Blow like Hootie. You'll find it.
Men go through their own life stages. Men. I'm not talking about boys. Because you have some men that are 40 years old and they should already be in the king stage. King stage means that he's already financially stable. He's already at a place where he has built his home, or he is ready to build his home. He is ready to get married. This is the reason why I say if a man is 40 and over and he's not married, he's a no man.
That's what who said.
Okay? 9 times out of 10, there's always exceptions. Okay? But I'm talking about it as a general rule. If a man is 40 and over and he is not seriously dating somebody with the intentions of marrying her, he's just been jumping from one relation to another, and he's damaged goods. Emotionally stagnant. He's stuck in the childish night stage.
Yeah, see, when you hear a woman like this, and this is for my guys out there who may not have the confidence to talk to women, because they may watch things like this, like channels like mine, and feel like, wow, I can't talk to a woman. I say to those guys, you got to live life, right? And try. No matter what they say, no matter what I say, you got to try. You got to be confident. And I said it to my wife as well. If I was still in the West, I would talk to a woman. If I chose not to go to passport bro route, or I chose, to stay because of finances, I couldn't travel out, I would be getting women in the West. Will it be hard? Yes, it will be hard because I'm looking for Christian women and women who are about that Christian lifestyle. And you already know, with nowadays, it's hard to find, but it can be found. But still, I say to those guys, try. At least try. You know, you can't listen to these women, especially if you're over 40, because a guy may be over 40 right now and feel he has no hope. I'm too old. You have hope. There's millionaires that didn't even become millionaires until they were like 45, 46, or in their 40s, or they hit 30, or some guys 60, 50. So there's always a chance. If you're still alive and breathing, there's still hope. You can make it. But yeah, if you need any help, definitely book a consultation with me. Of course, consultations are a small fee. I'm definitely willing to help. But yeah, guys, thanks for watching. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Peace out. See you next video.
Brothers! What we doing live? Echoes in eternity.